But we have these short chairs, so we're.
That really helps.
Every once in a while, if I forget, I can feel it start to it takes me a long time. He's like,
Yeah, you do put up with it.
Now, what I need to do is these two exercises. When he gave me the shot, it didn't hurt. His legs was like,
Real.
take this off, but it got better once I got it. For some reason, it felt like whatever the sport was attacking whatever the problem was. It was just like the pain that I've been kind of just an annoyance was like really intense for about 30 minutes.
That's good news.
How are you been feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna I'll pick you up a little before that.
I know. I mean, I'm more than you, man. Oh, that's because you're up tonight. Hey, well, what?
That's probably very hand physical therapy.
No, you don't.
I talked to Parker last night and called the grandparents stage last night. And so I said, what would you do? It's called where my kid is at. And he said, I said, 21. He said, coming all the way. So I was poor old man.
Are you kidding me? Hey, guess what?
Danielle's 24.
I computed my waist. There's $1.40 I did. I was just curious.
It's good to be bored.
I was just curious. I kept getting this email. I need to change my password today. To my email. Now it says it failed. Yeah, but it said my password on my account. For my email here at Jefferson. Well, for me to sign in to get my email. I mean, you know, just sign in.
They were going to start that process where you had to change it.
Well, I changed it. I got a notification to change it. So it keeps telling me my Jefferson sign-in failed and I didn't know what it meant. Now I think I know what it means. But now I can't remember what I changed my password. Oh, I know what I did.
Everybody ready?
Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the September 8th meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Education. Prior to this meeting, the board conducted a work session at 4:30 to receive an update on the Schools of Innovation and another work session at 5 p.m. to discuss the working budget for fiscal year 2014-15. We will have our moment of silence and our Pledge of Allegiance, and then Board Member Debbie Westland will read our vision statement. So if we could now take a few moments for our moment of silence, please. Thank you. Our special guest from the Brown School, Butler Traditional High School girls basketball team will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Our vision is that all JCPS students will graduate prepared to reach their full potential and contribute to our society throughout life.
Thank you, Ms. Westland. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the August 25th meeting? Mr. Brady, second. Mr. Hathaway, all those in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Recognitions and resolutions. Ms. Terry Robinson.
Thank you. Dr. Hargens, Board Chair Diane Porter, and members of the Jefferson County Board of Education. This evening, we have the honor of celebrating the outstanding accomplishments of JCPS students and staff. We begin with the recognition of Maya Silva and Allie Cunningham, students at the Brown School. Their project was the only one in Kentucky in the high school division to be selected as a 2014 national finalist in the Siemens We Can Change the World High School Challenge. The challenge encourages student teams to identify an environmental issue that has a global impact and provides a viable replicable solution that can be replicated around the globe. The challenge also provides high school students with the opportunity, tools, and inspiration to become active agents of change and to make a difference. Maya and Allie's project was prompted by a news report that Maya saw about roads being swept away in Kentucky. She and Allie wanted to find a solution that would stop or control the erosion around the cities. Their project included experimenting with filling tubs with soil to construct mountains and valleys, and then applying different solutions such as plants, drainage pipes, and tiered landscaping to their models. They tested their solutions by simulating rainfall in the models over the landscape. They discovered that plants, landscape, and other vegetation help to capture rainfall and are helpful for the soil. Board Chair Diane Porter, please come forward to congratulate Maya and Allie. Joining in the recognition is their principal, Tim Healy, and teacher, Dr. Kathleen Mattingly. I also like to ask the parents of these outstanding students to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Next, we are very proud to recognize the Butler Traditional High School girls basketball team for winning the 2014 Houchins Industries Kentucky High School Athletic Association Girls Sweet 16 Basketball Championship. The team defeated Elizabethtown High School 49-38 to win the state championship, which was held at Western Kentucky University's E.A. Diddle Arena in Bowling Green. This is the fourth championship, the title for the girls basketball teams at Butler Traditional High School, winning previous championships in 1975, 1980, and 2008. The team is coached by Larry Just. Board Member Chuck Hadaway, please come forward to congratulate the Butler girls basketball team. Joining in the recognition is their principal, William Allen, and coach Larry Just. Thank you. If there are any parents or friends or family members, would you please stand to be recognized? We have the honor of bestowing recognition upon Dr. Kimberly Johnson, English teacher at Wagner High School, for being selected to serve on Learn Zillion's 2014 Dream Team. She is one of 200 distinguished literacy and math educators from across the nation selected from a pool of 4,000 to serve on the team. These educators were selected for the Dream Team for their content knowledge, expertise, determination, and commitment to providing high-quality instruction. In June, the Dream Team convened in New Orleans for Teach Fest, a mandatory, all-expenses-paid professional development event to create high-quality formative assessment tools and resources that will support teachers implementing the Common Core across the United States. After Teach Fest, the Dream Team members return to their schools and districts to collaborate, to share what they have learned with their colleagues, and to further their work in facilitating online professional learning communities over the course of the summer. Learn Zillion's goal is to create a powerful learning experience for students through a national network of exceptional teachers who work diligently to create high-quality instruction and resources to help other teachers, colleagues, and parents meet the needs of every student. Board Vice Chairman David Jones Jr., please come forward to extend congratulations to Dr. Kimberly Johnson. Joining in the recognition is her principal, Katie Zeitz. Thank you. Dr. Hargens and members of the Jefferson County Board of Education, this concludes our recognitions for this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Is there a motion to receive the recognitions? Mr. Hadaway, seconded by Mr. Jones. All those in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. At this time, we take a couple of minutes to dismiss our students because we know that there might be homework or there just might be something else. And to our teachers, congratulations, and to staff and parents that are here tonight, congratulations and thank you so much for being here. It's our pleasure to recognize and honor you tonight. So you have a few minutes to leave the auditorium or else we're going to hold you captive. At this time, we will move to the consent calendar and superintendent's report. Dr. Hargans.
Thank you, Chair Porter. Chair Porter, members of the board, it's my pleasure to call your attention to a few items of interest. First, let me welcome Jonathan Lowe as the new Director of Strategy. He has 1 day under his belt. Jonathan Lowe's primary responsibility will make sure that we execute the wonderful strategies that we do have in place. The Dragon Boat Festival will be held at Waterfront Park on Saturday, September 13th, with races beginning at 9 a.m. The JCPS Dragon Crew, there we are, will participate, completely sponsored through Louisville 3rd Century Incorporated. The crew, as we refer to ourselves, practiced yesterday. Members of the Jefferson County Board of Education.
Where do you sit in the boat? I didn't see you in the boat.
Okay, that would be me way at the back, so so you can't mess anything up. Oops, going that way. Now we're not moving in the right direction. Andy's going to help us find the slide. No, and since I've said so many times we've got to row together in the same direction, how could I pass up the opportunity to be with 19 other JCPS crew members to do that? Members of the Jefferson County Board of Education are hosting a series of community conversations at locations throughout the district. Parents and the public are invited to discuss the strategies that the board and the Jefferson County Public School District are using to improve schools and raise student achievement. Community conversations support the JCPS Strategic Plan Vision 2015, which calls for increased stakeholder engagement and encourages parents and community members to help enrich students' educational experiences and support their success. So we appreciate the feedback that we get from community members when we're out there. And we actually have Ms. Porter on Thursday, September 11th at Mazik Middle School. Mr. Jones actually tomorrow, September 9th at Atherton High School. So, and all the community conversations are posted that will be in the future. We appreciate the feedback from the board on a new format for the working budget, which will outline revenue and expenditure trends. The budget development process is really year-round, starting in October, going through September. So as soon as we finish the working budget for this year, we'll begin the budget process for 15-16. So to recap, the general fund revenue will increase by $26.4 million. The instructional budget includes an increase of $37.9 million, and part of that is the mandated 1% raise in steps. But what's important about this budget is that it includes opportunities for extended learning, for content area goal clarity coaches, and positive behavior intervention support coaches, as well as mental health supports, transition centers, technology funds, a literacy project, principal training, and early childhood and ESL expansion. Revenue increases, eliminating spending, and repurposing funds have all been a part of making the working budget. I'll remind everyone that as we begin the 15-16 budget process in October, we will need to take into account that for the 15-16 school year, there's a mandated 2% salary increase, and of course there will be a KTRS increase. Chair Porter, at this time, I recommend the consent calendar for the board's consideration.
Thank you, Dr. Hargans. Are there any items from the consent calendar that need to be pulled down? Ms. Duncan.
I just wanted to look at L, R, and S.
On number R, Ms. Duncan, is there a specific number?
R6.
R6. And on S?
2.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hadaway.
I'd like to add R5, please.
Other items? Okay, starting with L, the approval of professional services contracts of $5,000 or more. Ms. Duncan?
Just wanted to make sure we have shifted back. This is not just for one part of the Medicaid reimbursement with KSBA, but we've shifted back to KSBA from the provider that we had last time. Is that correct?
This actually is for some expenses we had in the previous, under the previous contract period. So that's why we're using the KSBA, but going forward, the new company will be handling all of it.
All right, that's what I wasn't sure on. Thank you for doing.
The next item is R5, the acceptance of funding from Kentucky Community and Technical College System for Accelerating Opportunity Kentucky Initiative.
I don't have any specific questions, but I would, it seems like a wonderful program, and I wanted to pull it into the spotlight a little bit further and ask the superintendent or one of our delegates could share a little bit about this program and tell us how it's benefited the community in the past. And I'm putting it on the spot there, but I think it's what little I read on the summary and then the memorandum of agreement, it seems like a wonderful thing with JCTC. Am I the right one?
Well, and actually, Ms. Kramer. This is actually about, as it says, is this partnership with the community college with really designing instruction for low-skilled adult learners that give them the opportunity to attend community college classes. So it reinforces the importance of learning throughout the community.
Yeah, I think that is very important to show that JCPS is involved in that in this a segment of our population as well. So kudos to this. I'm very anxious to vote this through. I'm very glad that we have this partnership.
Thank you. The next one is item 6, acceptance of funding from Kentucky Educational Collaboration for State Agency Children and JCPS State Agency Children's Programs. Ms. Duncan.
Okay, I wasn't sure about this. Is there, I just wanted to know or if there is anything different about this agreement this year that we need to be aware of.
The quick answer is no. It really mirrors just as the KECSAC does it every year. The dollars still flow through Eastern Kentucky University. Even the allocations for the different special schools, the agency schools, is pretty much on target, exactly what it was last year.
All right, thank you.
The next item, S2, approval of memorandum of agreement with Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for Graduated Licensing Program. Ms. Duncan.
Yeah, I'm just curious about, this sounds like it's almost like the old driver's ed, but what do we do in this program, and how did the schools get chosen? Because not all of them are included. And what does it mean by equipment? Because it talks about leaving the equipment at the school. What's the equipment?
It really takes place after school. So they tried to select schools across Kentucky, but particularly in Jefferson County, where every student can have access, because this also includes private schools and parochial schools. So after school, the kids come in and we agree to provide them with video equipment, basically. They come in and they have access to projectors. In the past, it was VCRs and those things. It goes all the way back to 1996. That they've done this as part of the graduated licensing, where the kids agree to the 6 months between their receiving their permit and getting their license. They agree to attend this training, and they also agree to not drive between midnight and 6 a.m. and to only have one similar age peer in the car with them whenever they drive. But our part is the reason we see this now is they're actually, the transportation department is really, they provide the instructors and everything. They always have in the past, but now they've centralized it at Eastern Kentucky University. So that's why they moved to an MOA, because now EKU will provide the trainers, it will provide the curriculum and instructional practices and even the video. And they'll train all the trainers that work in this after school.
Very good. That's
now,
what I wanted.
A Jefferson County student at any of our schools could travel to another school afterwards and actually participate. So if you were a student at Doss, you could travel to another of the high schools that offered it if it would happen to be closer for you.
That's exactly what I wanted to know. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hadaway.
Dr. Hensley, I'm sorry. I wanted a follow-up question. How do the students currently, how do they enroll in this program?
I think they have an online component that they can enroll that way. I think counselors have information for them for the 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds who get the opportunity. So I think they can either mail it in or they have online access. And many of them want to do that, but very quickly, because that's part, of course, of becoming a registered driver.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hensley. At this time, is there a motion to approve the consent calendar? Ms. Duncan, seconded by Mr. Brady. All those in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much. There are no action items this evening. We move on to the discussion item, the Board of Education discussion agenda planning calendar. Dr. Hargens.
Actually, I wanted to point out a couple of things coming up in October. October 13th, student assignment recommendations for 15-16, and then the board requested on October 27th, we'll meet that request, trends in staffing. Someone asked about how our trends in staffing are going and the demographics of our staffing. So those two things have been added. One of the things that we're working on and we'll have by the next meeting is more items on the planning calendar so you can see when we'll be doing updates to the strategic plan and updates to the equity scorecard. So we will plug all those things in so you have a full calendar for this school year.
Anything else? Is there a motion to receive the planning calendar? Mr. Brady, seconded by Ms. Haddad. All those in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much. Now we're moving on to board reports and requests. Mr. Hadaway.
Regarding the planning calendar, there was an item that tricked my curiosity, and I think we mentioned it, Mr. Jones mentioned it in the work session earlier too. When we talk about the schools of innovation, the two that we talked about today, I'm very interested in hearing the progress, the roadmap for the other two as we go along too. I don't want to lose sight of those. I know that they have a starting gate a little bit further out, but I want to include those in the future. I also would like to request our planning for the legislative agenda, where we are on that, and what the timeline is for getting that done. Thank you.
I think we also, as a board, want to report that today is Mr. Hadaway's birthday, and we want to honor that.
Yeah, I think
Ms. Haddad.
Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chuck. Happy birthday to you.
Media, please use that as often as you want. Anytime you have to embarrass any of my peers here, you've got your material. Thank you.
It's your day. Mr. Brady.
Point of clarification, I thought we were supposed to sing Gloom and Agony and Despair on Me from Hee Haw. It is the 50th one, right?
Now, see, I didn't say that.
I am. I'm going there. I'm going way
I am
past
on
that.
record for saying it's Mr. Hadaway's birthday exclamation point, happy birthday. That's all I had to say.
There's one next month. So
Okay.
don't forget.
But it's
All
not
right.
the 50th.
Are there any other reports and requests? Any other reports and requests? There are no speakers to address the board this evening. There is no executive session needed. I was given the challenge to have this board meeting completed by 7:30, and I think it's 7. Motion to adjourn, Ms. Haddad. Second, Mr. Jones. All those in favor? We are adjourned. Happy birthday, Mr. Hathaway.
You exceeded our.
Well, yeah,